Yeah, this is Esplin227. I'm a little confused on what I'm seeing with, I don't want to say the atheist community, but basically the political sort of left-wing community when it comes to the 99% movement. Why is everyone so fucking terrified to everyone's like, I'm reserving my opinion. Um, You've literally been saying what the 99% movement has been saying. You've been saying it for months. How bought our government is, how corrupt our government is. And then when a group actually comes out and tries to fight against that, suddenly they're just hippies who just want stuff for free and who are just chilling the fuck out. Or I don't know whether let's say tomorrow they change their message and say that we're all hippies and that we just want to do drugs and want stuff for free. How would that make their message the day before any less valid? For what it's worth, and I don't think it's worth much, I 100% support the 99% protest. Like, with every fiber of my being. In fact, I would be there if I could. If something happens and they turn bad, like how the Tea Party 2 years before Obama was going to get elected in the general elections. They were there. They were mostly independents. Granted, a lot of them were libertarians, and I don't quite agree, but I understood what they were arguing for. They were mad that the taxes for them were really high, and the taxes for higher up was really low. I mean, they were less worried about the upper 1%, but they were mad at how high the taxes were for their class. Uh, but eventually it was corrupted by the Republicans, and once Obama started running, all the redneckness started coming out of these cracker ass motherfuckers, and they got all racist and shit. I just said cracker ass, but you know what I mean. Racist white people. You can call them crackers. That's what people mean when they say crackers. They're talking about like not upper class, but like either rednecks or you know what I mean. Well, that's not the point. The point is, I supported them in the beginning. When it turned out that they were just douchebags who didn't know what they were talking about, I withdrew my support. Did I lose face? No. They changed from what they were. What are you reserving your opinion? What exactly aren't you sure about? What's the confusion? Um, the arguments against the 99% movement are mostly just rhetoric. They just want stuff for free. No, they want upper class, the upper 1% to pay their fair share. And don't say they pay more. You know that's just one type of tax, and there's at least four other types of tax that they either don't pay at all because of the way their system works. Like income tax, that's or sales tax. That's nothing to them. That's like so insanely small to them that it's null. Like payroll tax. You know what I mean? Like just because their income tax is higher doesn't mean anything. They get money from other things. That's how they're not paying their fair share. The way they're getting their money, they're not being taxed on it as much. The way we're getting our money and the way they're getting their money, we're being taxed like a motherfucker. That's the problem. I don't see, what is your opinion reserved on? What are you reserving? Do you not understand that? Is there not data to support that? The Again, I'm not mad at you for reserving your opinion, but this is what it seems like to me. You know how on news media outlets they try to make it look like the whole global warming thing, and I'm not talking about whether it's man-made, but whether it's occurring or not. They try to make it look like scientists are split on it. Like it's a 50-50 split. They have one scientist who's for it and one scientist who's against it, and they make it seem like it's 50-50 when it's not. That's how this 99... It seems like people are so scared to simply state whether they support them or not, because if it turns out that they're wrong, oh, I've lost faith. No. If the 99% people tomorrow just all decided to throw Molotov cocktails at children, I would then withdraw my support. I would still stand by what I supported earlier. What exactly are you reserving your opinion for? We want to limit the government's ability to buy politicians. Um, there are varied ways. It depends on how far you're willing to go with that. I think there should be serious limits on how much they can donate. Um, they want to get rid of corporate personhood. Corporations are not people. Yes, people are in corporations. That doesn't make a corporation a person any more than it makes a car a tire. Yeah, there are tires in a car or on a car. That doesn't make the car a tire. You get what I'm saying? Like, that doesn't make any fucking sense. A corporation is not a person. It is a corporation. It is a large group of people there to make money. It's not a person. Now, if a corporation somehow invents technology where they become one Borg-like sentient entity, I digress. As far as I'm aware, we don't have that fucking technology yet. And the thing I said earlier, that the upper 1% are not paying their fair share of taxes. Are we saying they caused everything? No, of fucking course not. These are the three issues we're going after that seriously exacerbate the problem. Did these issues cause the economic downfall? Yes, they did. Complete lack of regulation because they bought politicians. They bought politicians, influenced those politicians to not regulate them. They were not regulated. They gave loans that they made bad deals that they knew were bad. They did it on purpose, rolled that up, chopped it into pieces, sold it. They could do this because they were not regulated, bet against it, and then made a shitload of money as our economy tumbled. Now you might say, well, they lost out too. Yeah, because a corporation's not a person. It's not sentient. It doesn't think. It's like an effect. It's not a person. They can't think of the future. They're only thinking of the moment. So yeah, is it their fault for everything? We're not blaming polio on them. We're blaming the economy on them. Now, if we were up there saying they caused cancer, well, in some instances they paid to not have to clean up their pollution in certain isolated incidences, and they did actually cause cancer, ironically. But you know what I mean. They didn't invent cancer. Like, they're not... What do you... I don't like how they're blaming the corporations. I don't think it's that simple. You did a few months ago, cunt. Why is it suddenly that now that people got together, now everyone's reserving their opinion? What do you mean you're This is the shit you were saying. You were saying these things before. Now, if you're wondering who I'm talking about, I made that mistake before. I'm not gonna say who I'm talking about. They know who the fuck I'm talking about. They know who I'm talking about. People who were saying this exact shit, and now that people are actually getting together and fighting for that, now I'm gonna reserve my opinion. I don't live in that country, or I do live in that country, and I don't know. There's no question. They're saying the things you said. What is the problem here? What ambiguity is here? Well, their message is kind of fuzzy. Yeah, if you watch Fox News. Come on, you're better than that. Their message is clear. Limit the business's ability to manipulate government, buy politicians, make sure they pay their fair share of taxes, and regulation. It's the same three things. I don't understand what the problem is. It just doesn't make sense. I don't understand why suddenly everyone's reserving their opinion. What are you reserving it for? What is the thing that you're reserving it for? What data do you need to see? What is the data that you need to see to decide whether you're, do you even know what that data is? Here's my hypothesis. If the 99% movement goes sour, that is, if they become like the Tea Party, then you're going to pat yourself on the back because you reserved your opinion. If things go well and the Tea Party or and they actually start to cause real change, then you're going to not reserve your opinion. You're going to jump in. Now, am I saying that you should just um that you should just throw your lot in now to get in with it? No. If they were arguing about something that had nothing to do with this, yeah, I wouldn't care. If they weren't saying things that you were saying, you get what I'm saying? Like, the liberals on this site, again, I want to be vague because I made that mistake before, and everyone's like, you know, like if you name anyone, apparently the universe implodes. Unless you're making a video directly to them. So I'm not going to name anyone. But you know, there are some in America, and then there are some in Britain and other countries that suddenly, I don't get it. What's the problem? What exactly are you reserving your opinion for? I guess what we're saying is, what aren't you sure of? Because the data is there. There is data to be found. It would take you a few seconds to look it up. And I don't think you need to look it up because that's the stuff you've been saying. How bought our government is, how corrupt it is. You know, corporate personhood. I said regulation. Regulation was the first thing. If you're wondering why I said the taxes and then the God damn it, this doesn't look good. Taxes, corporate personhood, and the ability to manipulate our government. That's actually what I meant to say the second time. But I counted the first one twice. But that's their thing. Those three things. That's the biggest thing. Are there some other things on that list? Yeah, and the other things kind of vary. But I think if you go to any random 99%er and you're not a fucking news media outlet because they only go for the crazies because that's what they do. They're a 24-hour news network. That's what they do. They go for the crazies because the crazies are interesting. And if it's Fox News, we all know why they do what they do because that's what they do. Circular reasoning. But yeah, this is my angry rant at not fence sitters. I'm not saying you have to jump in. I just find it hypocritical that they've been saying, or you've been saying, what they've been saying. When you say things like what they want is incoherent, that makes you a cunt monkey. Because what they want is not incoherent. They've said exactly what they want. They don't want corporate personhood. They want to limit the ability of businesses to buy politicians, and they want the upper 1% to pay their fair share of taxes. What is complicated about that? What is it? Well, no, that's the thing. That's it. If you don't know where you stand on those things, then I don't know what to fucking tell you. Those are the three issues. Again, I wouldn't be mad if you all weren't saying these things before and now suddenly. If this was a new movement that had nothing to do with what you're saying, then I agree entirely. Withhold your judgment. But there's nothing to withhold. Nothing to withhold. It's like if the atheist parade said everything you said exactly, and then suddenly you're like, I don't know if I agree with these atheists out there. It's, what do you... That's it. I'm done. Until my next video, try to make the world a better place, and I will too.